That's a different sound, but hey guys, what's going on? And welcome to another Ordinary Men Who Fight Like Heroes podcast. Chris Fearing for Ordinary Men Who Fight Like Heroes, and I'm joined around the table by...
Drunks and Dragons!
Ballistic Robot.
Dex Wolf.
So, it has been a good while since we've done a podcast, not as long as the podcast before that one, but still a good long while. And there have been a shit ton of trailers, both movie and game, that have come out since then. We've got the Omen trailer for Final Fantasy 15 that our buddy Aaron just showed us. The Red Dead Redemption 2 trailer came out. The Logan trailer came out.
Yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy 2 teaser came out. And a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah.
People are already breaking down Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Oh, of course they are. Even though it's just like a fucking... I'm waiting for the next trailer for that. Because that teaser was just like, yeah, I already know there's another movie coming out. You might as well not even had this teaser trailer.
It was cool just to see those characters again.
And to generate some hype, of course. They got to generate hype and remind other people that are not waiting on Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah. We're making another one of those because there are people that are like, oh, that was cool, and then totally forgot. Right. So you need something for them.
You need a hug.
I'm just glad that fucking that Yondu is going to be in it the whole time.
Yeah,
it was like one of the main group.
Yeah, no, he was the weirdest character to me because he seemed like he was the father figure, but also a villain at the same time. But still a friend too. So it was just kind of like,
what the hell am I? As he like fucking his head glows and his whistle arrow flies around.
Yeah, it was just too damn bizarre for me.
What?
It's going to be cool to see like who they go up against.
Yeah.
Because there's going to have to be someone with at least some kind of like good power to go up against the entirety of that group as it stands now. Because it's Yondu, it's fucking Nebula is also in the group now, cool. And then they're going to get that Mantis chick in there at some point.
Huh.
There's a girl that's green and has like antenna out of her head that's called Mantis in the comics. They're going to get in the group in this movie.
That sounds pretty good.
And there's Kurt Russell, so that's going to be cool.
Nice.
Who's Star-Lord's dad.
Yeah.
Who's a living head the size of a planet.
Yeah.
It's just a head, size of a planet, normal shit.
He's
jumping back and forth. Go ahead, Derek.
I was just going to say he's Silver Surfer's enemy.
You mean Galactus?
Yes, who eats planets.
Who eats planets. But he is a planet.
His whole life is a planet.
Whole life on a planet.
Quit messing with planets.
But jumping around, the fucking Red Dead Redemption 2 trailer that came out.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
I wish they had shown just anything with a story. But
I was too until I saw one person's post on Reddit.
What was that?
They actually took the group from that image, got really fucking close and matched silhouettes.
Really?
The three guys in the middle of that fucking group, John, Bill, and Dutch.
Are you fucking kidding me? Is it really them?
They showed like side by side.
Shit.
It is like almost unmistakable, dude. So they're just like, man, it's probably going to be about this gang coming up in its heyday, and then as it falls apart.
Yeah.
And it's because they were just like, man, it's going to be the best if they do the GTA 5 route and make it so it's Dutch, Bill, and John, and you can switch between them at will and do shit. Because like John was a cool guy, Bill was all right, Dutch was fucking awesome.
Which one was Dutch? Was he the main villain?
Main end boss that's in that fucking camp.
It was so fucking like you really wanted to know more about their backstory.
Yeah,
it really seemed interesting.
I won't have any qualms playing John Marsden as a bad guy actually, because it's like he has his redemption in the next game where I played all good except for one accidental coach kid like fucking hijacking. That's the only mark on that record. You look at everything else. 0, down the line for everything that you could do
in America.
Are they in America in that game?
Yeah.
I actually only played it like.
There's the middle third of Red Dead Redemption. You're actually in Mexico.
Okay.
Helping out with the Mexicans fighting the other
Mexicans.
Mexicans.
Takes a while, but you meet a cool gunslinger there, and some of the locations in Mexico are really cool.
Yeah.
Like I like some of the locations for sure. Like what is the name of that little prison that's up on that hill way far away? It's like named after
El Prison.
It's not El Prison.
Torquemada.
It's Torquemada.
There we go.
That's a fucking cool place.
That's the place where you hunt down one of the members, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
What's his name?
I can't remember.
Always forget that dude's name, even though he's
Mexican dude.
Yeah.
But that's the problem. It's just he was like another Mexican guy. Oh damn it.
Oh, good. We got a Mexican.
We had a Mexican in our bunch. I gotta kill him.
I should have showed you guys. That's what the thing I was forgetting about. I saw a video today that was called "Elders React to System of a Down."
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah, it was fucking funny because there was this one Mexican older guy. He must have been like Danny Trejo's brother because he was like, "Yeah, this is cool." Everybody else was just like,
This is noise.
Yeah.
It's not even music.
and they're like, you know what? This is different from metal. How would you describe it? And he's like, well, it's kind of softer than metal. And I'm like, that's fucking awesome.
What metal do you listen to?
Yeah.
Like just actual metal. Just people swinging metal bars at the side of his head.
And then like what is it? Then they told them what the actual like some of the content of like System of a Down songs are about, and then they kind of changed their tune slightly. They're like,
Oh, really?
Oh,
Yeah.
it's important. It's like, but maybe you don't need to like jump out and yell it. It's like
You don't need to scare me with your message.
no. In my mind, I'm like, yeah, but you kind of do though. If you just walk by and said, "I'm in the Holocaust," and just walked on, no one's gonna fucking care. But if you jump out in the middle and be like, "They're killing everyone," and shake them, that you might have someone's attention a bit more.
But I'm really fucking stoked if that's what it's going to be. About, like, the gang
Oh yeah.
that John was in on the way up and on the way down.
No, that'd be
Oh,
great.
it's gonna have to, man, because they can't leave it on like some weird high note, because then you'll be like,
I was going to say, think of all the other Rockstar games. It's just not going to end on a high note.
true.
I was
True,
30
I guess.
minutes in that game just hunting falcons and gathering stuff.
Man, and just think of all the little things that Redemption did that other games hadn't done yet,
Yeah.
and them taking it another step further.
Yeah.
After fucking GTA 5.
Yeah. Whew.
To be a big open world with bunches of shit to
And
do.
we already saw from the trailer just how much the world seems like alive, and
Yeah.
expansive, and they have. It seems like it's set more in the mountains.
Yeah.
even more so. Which is
I think it's going to be like a different part.
a different place in the world.
Yeah.
I think so too.
Yeah, and it, like
Because if
maybe
you-
eventually they'll because when he has to go in Redemption and find all of them,
Yeah.
he doesn't know where they are first and foremost. So that makes sense that after they're falling out, those are the places they went to hide.
Right.
So maybe like even if they want to do like a teasery end to the whole thing, they could even have John saying something about he's going to go look for Bill Williamson because he might know where people are, and he's going to try that town Armadillo first.
Yeah. Although that seems like, I mean, like
Or-
he needs some time to kind of start his family in between games.
Yeah,
So-
yeah, but I'm saying if they went with that, they could do that. But I
But
really
then again,
think
he had his kid with the gang, right? Like he was running around with them. Because
His
he was
kid?
like, yeah, because he was like, yeah, Uncle Dutch and everything like that. And
oh yeah, that's holy shit! I forgot that Jack knew him all his uncles.
yeah,
I just remember the whole thing about like John's wife that like everyone in the gang had their go at John's wife, but he was the one that married her.
that's right.
But that man, Gibbs gonna be great.
Yeah, it's
Gibbs
gonna.
gonna be awesome.
Man, that actually reminds me. I saw they're talking about like, you know, how are they going to top all those cool stranger missions? This is top countdown. They start talking about all the stranger missions. Like they have like a top 8 stranger missions. And there was one tidbit as one of them. And I was like, man, I didn't even know that. That's fucking amazing. Okay, so we all know there's that stranger. Spoiler alert for anyone that hasn't
Wait,
played.
I think I know what you're gonna bring up. But go ahead.
Okay, so there's a stranger mission where like that one guy with the top hat or whatever, the mustache comes out of nowhere, and you can
The
debate
one
that
I know
it's-
you?
Yeah, and you can debate that it's God, the Grim Reaper, or Devil, or whoever.
Yeah.
There's the last encounter where you talk to him. He's standing around and he's like, "This is a beautiful spot."
It's his
It's
house.
actual it's
No.
where he's like buried. It's his grave. Like it's actually where his
John
grave,
Marsden's
like
grave.
John
Yeah.
Marsden's grave is.
Whoa.
He's standing there. He's like, "This is a beautiful spot." That's actually where he fucking dies.
No, and
Or
here's
just
the
lays
thing.
rest.
He says that, and he's standing on the spot where their graves are. When John finally gets tired of his shit, pulls a gun, he fires 3 shots. At the end of the game, there are 3 graves on that spot.
Damn. Wow. Huh.
Spooky.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. That's really,
Man, it's actually really debatable who the hell he was.
Yeah.
Because, like, I think the answer is different depending on how you play John Marsden.
That's true.
Yeah, it's vague enough.
And
Yeah.
then, like, it makes it even more disturbing depending on who it is. Because I played John Marsden as a good guy, so every time he showed up, it was like, this terrible thing is happening, and I went and saved the day. I'd show back up and be like, thanks for guiding me to those places where I was needed. Are you God? Because if so, you're a really disturbing man with a really disturbing, off-putting outlook on everything.
Now see, I played John Marsden like straight good guy the whole way through, and I always saw that guy as the devil, there to finally like
test to see if he's getting John or not,
or no, to collect John. Right. And telling him that there are these things that places are going wrong, that he can go there and do what he will to save them. But I mean, like, the dude in the top hat is just like, this is funny because all the shit you've done, there's no way I'm not taking you. But yeah, go ahead and try because this is going to be hilarious.
Wow. Yeah,
that went with him being fucking vague all the time around John, and almost like he was being amused by how pissed off it was making John about wondering who the hell he was and how he knew everything that was going on.
Yeah, no, like I was saying, it's vague enough that you can read both ways, but I think that my own interpretation was just that it was God, but it was still kind of, him testing John to see who John will decide what he wanted to be.
Nice.
So, anyway,
testing to see about his redemption.
Right. Testing to see if he was really redeemed. You could that was one Shawshank Redemption. My favorite part is when Shawshank was redeemed. Fucking great.
But speaking of redemption, though, we also had the fucking Logan trailer come out.
Yeah.
That looks fucking great.
Holy shit, yes.
It's going to be about one angry old man defending this little girl, and it's going to be like, that's going to be why it's such a good movie.
I watched the music video for Hurt again today, and I gotta say that might be a lot of the reason why it's so emotional, but
no,
holy crap,
that's a good size fucking scoop of that damn thing, dude.
But no, like, just the fact that the trailer itself treats it so much like it could be, it's not like they're characters that we care a lot about.
Yeah,
using that to their advantage.
It's got a strong.
But it's not even about the fact that they're superheroes.
Yeah, it's got a strong emotional core, and it happens that they all used to be X-Men.
And it adds so much to the fact that I think both Xavier, like Patrick Stewart, I think that's going to be his last time as Xavier.
It is.
And that's going to be, Logan's last. What's-his-face's last time as Logan. So
and everyone will get to cry manly tears when they both die. Because they're going to die.
Impact on the actual movie,
I remember watching, the first time I watched the trailer, and it got to the end where he's like, fucking starts, like, you see him slicing people and blocking the, like, her claws and shit like that, and I was just like, oh yeah, they're superheroes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right, he's got metal claws that come out of his hands. I forgot. I was so involved with him trying to, like, take care of Charles Xavier, and they're trying to rescue this girl. I totally spaced the fact that it's just like, oh yeah, their villains have, like, robot hands and are like Metal Gear Solid, military group.
You know who the bad guys are. The bad guys are the Reavers.
Really?
And one of the Reavers is the dude that's got the white mohawk and his lower half is a tank. That's one of the Reavers. I don't think they're going to do him in the movie, but if they did a guy that was just like fucking half tank with guns, and be just like, Justin, there he is.
Woo! I would be so excited, dude. I would be like, oh, like in the theater. Oh man, I would be like, no way, dude.
Man, what the fuck?
Way to haunt us from the 90s, you fucking piece of shit. I had that action figure.
Why did you have this action figure?
I have no idea. I mean, like, you gotta imagine there's a guy with, like, sunglasses on. Okay. A crazy white mohawk. Still okay. He's got, like, dual Uzis. Okay, he's like some punk dude. And then from the waist down, he's just plopped onto the front of a tank.
Would you call him a tank from the waist down?
Yes. He's
or a man from the tank up.
You got it.
Now, one cool thing, I was talking to one of my coworkers about it because he's big into comics as well, and he had a theory about about what's going to happen in the movie.
Really?
Because, like, we both agreed that the very, very end, where you see Logan standing there, like, next to Laura, he's got his hand on, like the wooden shaft of a tool, and he's got blood on him. It's just like, oh, cool, they just buried Charles Xavier.
Wow, yeah.
Because he's standing and he looks like he's bloody. He looks fucking defeated, and she walks over and, like, takes his hand. It's like, okay, that's where he's going to be buried. That's it.
No, that makes all sense.
And the guy was just like, man, what if even after they bury him, he still sees Charles?
Dude.
Because you get little, and it, like, kind of acts as his conscience.
Yeah.
And even though you know that, like, since he's got Laura with him, it's before the fact. But just the way that it's shot...
Charles could just be like, here, now I'm in your brain forever.
Just the way it's shot with him sitting in the truck, where Logan's in the front behind the wheel, and he's like, someone will come along. And then it cuts to Charles Xavier in the back seat, behind his seat, saying, "Someone has." Kind of letting Logan know it's like, it's you. You're here. Yeah. You're going to take care of her.
Yeah.
Kind of almost that kind of thing. Granted, it's all timeline-wise. He's got Laura by the time Xavier dies. But just that idea is cool. That even after Xavier's dead, Logan still kind of sees him.
That could be cool.
Acting as a kind of conscience for him and shit like that.
That could be pretty fucking awesome.
And then a bunch of other people brought up online the fact that, granted, it was taken completely out of context, that Liev Schreiber put out like a tweet when Hugh Jackman put out like a picture of himself at the gym getting like really buff for Logan, and Liev Schreiber commented on it, said, "Am I gonna have to do this too?" And people were like, "Oh my God, Sabretooth is gonna come back!" But it was like, really, he's just like, "No, I'm just talking about like Hugh and I are both kind of getting kind of up there in age, and is this what I'm going to have to do to be relevant? Is it go to the gym and get super fucking jacked?"
That almost sounds like you're backpedaling to hide the fact that you were in the movie.
Yeah.
But who knows?
That would be fucking cool if one part of the movie is him coming across like a really old, super feral Sabretooth in the woods.
That'd be awesome.
That'd be a throwback to like...
Or maybe they recapture Sabretooth and then make him...
Yeah.
They use him as like a hound for hunting Wolverine.
Yeah.
They just have him like on a weird like robo-leash thing, and he's just like going around, and they're like, doo-doo-doo-doo. They're like, follow Sabretooth, follow the Sabretooth.
That would work.
He'll lead us to Wolverine. It would be really weird. It would just turn him into a weird mechanical monster, but it'd be like, that'd be kind of neat though.
Yeah.
And you got Tank Guy and Robot Hand Dude and like other soldiers, and it'd be like, this would be super cool.
But this
will be a better Days of Future Past than Days of Future Past was a Days of Future Past in some respects.
Yeah.
Just for feeling like apocalyptic and worn out, because here it's like all these mutants are dead. Everything's kind of fucked.
And I'm wondering how they're going to explain the mutants dying.
Yeah.
If it's going to be them being killed off, or it's going to be like a virus. Because a virus would explain how, like, oh, his healing factor's not working as it used to. Oh, Charles is kind of like getting dementia. That would work because it's their powers tied to this virus of them slowly losing their powers.
Yeah, I could see that.
I think the virus would work better as well.
Can't wait to see X-Men Fury Road. Or whatever it's going to be. Whatever
X-Men Fury Road Last of Us.
It hasn't worked out the girl yet.
More of.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good shit, dude.
Yeah, you were.
But, did you guys see the international cut trailer?
Is that the one with just more violence?
It's the one, and the only thing extra it has is the very end. There's a dude standing in a room, and Logan like claws out, comes up to him, and goes, "What's up?" and like fucking uppercuts him under the chin, and the claws pop out the top of his head.
Yeah,
but that's the only thing that's different about the trailer.
I did, and I'm like, well, if they have more of that in the movie, cool.
Yeah, well, that's what they've said flat out. After Deadpool was a success, they were like, "Yeah, we're just gonna make it R." So it's gonna be emotionally shit. It's going to be awesome post-apocalyptic. Hopefully, he's going to straight up fucking die at the end of it.
Why
he's
wouldn't
going to fucking hack people to pieces.
Yeah.
Man, it's really weird because I think the movies are the only ones that really kind of have that connection between Charles and Wolverine. Like, that's not in any of the other things, is it?
Nope.
No?
It's a little bit, nowhere near as much as the movies of just like Charles helping out Wolverine try to get pieces of his past. But mainly, it's just like, it's almost like therapy sessions. There's nothing really beyond that whole thing.
This is gonna be.
Well, it's cool that it worked out that way in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it is cool. And you have both actors like really behind it. They've been the characters for years. It feels real at this point. Like it's just like, man, they're so perfectly them.
It makes me wonder what's going to happen to the X-Men movies after this one comes out.
Yeah, that's a very good question.
Like, are they going to keep on going? Because this would be the perfect end cap for Fox to just go, okay, we're done.
You know what? But they're still continuing stuff with like the X-Force movies. Which reminds me. There's this whole like thing going on with
the Deadpool movie.
Yeah, Deadpool 2, and how they lost the director, which I still haven't seen the first one, but it sounds kind of BS the fact that he worked so hard to make sure that movie happened, and then split just because of creative differences.
That he would. Have you heard what those creative differences were?
It was mostly on casting and also budgetary things.
Casting was the last straw, okay. which kind of irritates me. But then again, I'm wondering who they want to be Cable.
Oh,
because the director wanted this one dude to be Cable, and I was like, I've never seen this dude before. I'll look up a picture of him, and I looked up a picture, and I was like, I can see him being Cable. Okay,
yeah,
I can roll with this.
Yeah,
but then like Ryan Reynolds was against it. The movie producers were against it, and these are the guys that helped produce the first movie and shit like that. But apparently, the director wanted to triple the budget and make it more action heavy.
Right.
Where Ryan Reynolds and the writers and the producers of the first one wanted to be like, no, we want to keep the humor being the biggest thing because that's what it is.
And that makes all the sense.
And so that was like a bunch of like headbutting, and then finally when the director was like, okay, we've got our Cable, and then Ryan Reynolds was like, that guy's not going to be a good Cable.
Yeah.
That was the final separation point, and now they're trying to find another director.
I was going to say they did find another director, apparently.
Who is it?
It's the director of John Wick.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool.
Which I haven't seen that movie either.
Oh man, no. One of the things I love about John Wick is like, okay, it's this action story. Okay, it's like an action movie, but it's got its own actual like in-universe stuff going on.
Yeah.
But they don't once have a fucking guy hold your hand and tell you all about it. They just watch.
Not a piece of exposition.
That's
what you can tell the world is entirely there and established.
Which I'm hoping they get more detailed in Chapter 2.
Yeah. And hardly any lines from John Wick himself, but you feel for that fucking dude to the point where every single thing he does, you're just like, I understand completely and I'm behind him.
That's excellent.
Yeah.
Wow. That shows great direction.
Fuck yeah, it does.
And great.
Okay, so they got a good director. But that's fucking cool.
So then he's also apparently supposed to be in talks to do the X-Force movie. So that's cool too.
Nice.
I'm wondering who they're going to get to fill out X-Force. Because I think they're introducing Domino into the next Deadpool movie, and that works because she's a part of it. Mm-hmm. So it's Deadpool and Domino. Wolverine and X-23 both were on the team. And with Hugh Jackman not doing it anymore, I'm fairly certain they're just going to cast like an older girl to be like a grown-up X-23 to be the Wolverine character of the group.
Yeah, I could see that. That'd be the better kind of transition thing.
Exactly, because that's what it was after they fucking butt-fucked the shit out of that whole thing. After Wolverine died, and they were just like, oh, we're just going to go into alternate future and bring back Old Man Logan into the past. Yeah. So Old Man Logan can be with the modern-day X-Men and the very first class of 5 X-Men that were brought from the past into the modern day. And it's just, God damn it. It's fucking everything up.
Yeah, that sounds just so like it's. I know it's comic books, but it's still like, come on.
Like that somewhere, like the writers at like Marvel are like fucking falling asleep at their desk, and then all of a sudden there's like a rip, and like in the fucking universe, and like a guy from DC, just like Ben Affleck, is like, "Oh, dude, you have an infinite crisis problem," and then they like wake up and they're like, "What was that?"
Yeah. There is a shining light. But after I tell the shining light delicious pound cake, I'm also going to cover it in an icing of shit. But,
oh, sure.
Near the end of this year or the beginning of next year, they're actually bringing the X-Men comics to an end.
Yeah, I think I've heard about this.
With, like, the virus and shit for the Inhumans and shit like that.
Yeah.
After that's done, like, apparently it's not going to kill off all of them like everybody thought it was going to. And they're going to start the X-Men comic series over as 2 series.
Yeah.
Blue Team and Gold Team, just as they were in the late fucking 90s when X-Men was the best thing on the fucking comic book stands.
Nice.
So they're going to do that, but then they're also going to have standalone titles like Cable. Fuck yeah. Jean Grey. All right. Iceman. Okay. And you know what the thing is going on with Iceman in the fucking comics right now?
What?
Young Iceman from the past comes out as gay and gets mad at modern-day Iceman for never coming to grips with himself and admitting it to himself.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's young gay Iceman arguing with middle-aged Iceman about how he never came to grips with being gay. And that's what Iceman is doing in comics right now. He's not turning into ice. He's not freezing people. He's not making it snow. He's not doing X-Men shit. He's arguing with himself about being gay.
Oh my god, Marvel's like...
But at least they have the cool comics like not Voltron, what is it? Vision. Vision's comic is supposed to be really good.
Vision's comic is really good.
Well, in the movies, Iceman can't be gay because he has a thing for Rogue.
Yeah,
He had things for girls in the comics too.
It's the thing. The thing is though,
but then it's young Iceman from a different continuity. So then, how does that affect things?
Apparently, it's the same continuity. That's the weirdest thing about it.
I've been gay this whole time. Why have you never said anything? Because it's the year 2016, and now I can just do that.
It's the same way like Iron Man is going to restart this year with like a fucking 15-year-old black girl as Iron Man.
Yeah.
Because
I don't mean to be mean, but I mean like, who? What? Who is this?
Because Tony Stark is like, I'm stepping down as Iron Man. I would like you to be Iron Man because you're the best person I've found for this job.
Okay.
And this is conveniently during the Civil War II series where it's like, we don't know what happens at the end of it because they haven't finished it, but this is what's going to happen after. So it's like, well, he's probably...
It's not even like... It's like,
just gonna die.
I don't care about, like, gender or race or whatever. It's just like, there's a complete stranger, and Tony Stark is just like, here you go. Like,
yeah.
Who is this person, and what have they done that's so spectacular to make Tony go, I could probably just get out of this suit and just give it to you, right?
And I can't wait for the newest team of Avengers to start later this year that's led by Squirrel Girl.
The fuck?
I heard about that.
Yep, led by Squirrel Girl and a bunch of other people that are like weird knockoff, spin-off versions of the other characters that are now in comics, and a fucking like young teenage Japanese girl with like pink hair who's piloting a slightly bigger than human-sized version of the Iron Patriot suit because her father helped Tony Stark build his armor. Now, all of a sudden, in the comics, they're saying it's always been that way.
What the fuck?
And that's just, yeah.
And you know what else is that Dr. Doom is supposed to also be an Iron Man.
Dr. Doom is actually heading that new Avengers team.
Oh, okay.
He's the one in charge of it, because Dr. Doom is now a good guy.
Okay.
Which is fine, because Victor Von Doom's always been kind of like, he's just doing shit for himself.
Right, yeah. I mean, yeah.
But just...
Comic books have gotten, like, there's some really weird, stupid shit happening.
The coolest thing that they've done in recent memory for Marvel is after Wolverine died, they did a series called The Wolverines that was after Axis, where all these weird things got shifted. That is, as stupid as this sounds, that is a great fucking book, because that's the one where things shift and some people become bad guys and good guys become, and like bad guys become good guys, and it sounds convoluted,
yeah,
but the read is actually really cool.
Okay.
And at the end of it, they find a way to reverse it, but certain people aren't in the group or within the perimeter that it's reversed. And so some people...
So it has... Are you saying there's some kind of space where this happens?
Yes. There's an event that causes this.
What the fuck?
I haven't read it in about a year and a half.
I was good all along, and you only misconstrued my actions as evil.
Yeah, see,
That's what I was thinking of.
It's not done like that.
Okay.
It makes sense within the confines of the story arc.
Okay.
And at the end, they change it back, and two people are... That I remember, two people are not in the perimeter. One of them is Sabretooth.
So he becomes good?
He becomes more so good than he was.
Okay.
Iron Man is also not in the perimeter.
That's a weird pair to, like...
No, here's the thing. Iron Man realizes during this story arc that, like, I've got more money than anything. I can do whatever the hell I want and nobody can do anything to stop me. Oh, they're going to reverse it? Okay, cool. You need to do this and this to reverse it. Yeah, I'm going to go over here and make sure these guys don't do anything.
Huh.
And he just flies away.
So, okay.
Makes a brand... If ever you see Tony Stark in really thin white Iron Man armor, that's Superior Iron Man, which is what started after Axis, where he's just like, how can I make the Iron Man armor even better? I'm going to combine it with symbiote.
Holy shit.
And make it living metal that I can just call to encase me at any point in time.
Not bad.
And he releases an app that's free for everyone to download. But then, like, and it's an app that, like, makes them genetically better. And then it's just like, okay, cool, I'm glad you guys enjoyed the trial period. Now it's so-and-so $1,000 a day. And then it just fucking sits back and everyone is already addicted to this shit and freaking out and doing everything they can to pay to get more of this app.
So he's like that one fucker who
yes.
raised the price on everything.
Yes,
on the drugs.
to the point where they have like a protest group and a dad is there saying his son's become addicted to this thing. and he starts like yelling at Tony Stark, and Tony Stark like flies down, and like you see the helmet come off and shit like that, like all like fucking weird symbiote and shit. And he's like, "This is just business. If you don't know how to raise your son, then that's your problem." And the guy fucking pulls a gun on Tony and shoots like point blank, but he's actually encased the front of his face in clear armor. So he's standing there. It's like, do you think that was going to work? And grabs the guy and flies up with him. And is sitting there holding him. It's like, okay, now what are you going to do? What are you going to buy for your son?
Holy shit.
Okay. And he drops him back off and then flies away. But that's what happens to Tony Stark after Axis.
So then, does Tony stay evil?
I think they've written it out. No, there was a whole arc about Tony becoming good again because people around him realized what were going on and did something to change it.
Gotcha.
But that's what happened after Axis. Sabretooth.
It sounds a fucking lot like the stuff with Captain America.
It does, but with Tony Stark it made sense. Captain America was just suddenly like, Hail Hydra.
Yeah. No, apparently he got rewritten, his brain rewritten by, what is it, the Red Skull, who also had part of Xavier's brain grafted into his mind. That's left over from Axis. Holy fuck. What the?
That's actually one of the things that causes all of this shit. Is fucking Red Skull digs up Professor X, cuts out a part of his brain and grafts it onto his, and becomes Red Onslaught.
Okay.
Which is fucking cool.
That sounds so awesome.
Yeah.
I haven't seen any pictures of what Red Onslaught would look like, but I bet you do.
It's Onslaught with Red Skull's face.
Have you even seen Onslaught?
I have.
Because Onslaught is like, I'm silly!
Yeah,
and then you're
bizarre.
like, you're the most 90s fucker I've ever seen.
There should be an X somewhere in your name.
But the cool thing is,
Onslaught X.
After Axis, Sabretooth realizes, oh man, Logan's dead. I'm going to have to take up the mantle of trying to right all the bad shit that he and I have done in our past.
Huh.
And the end of Axis is him actually writing a letter talking about how he's like changed his ways and how he's going to go out of his way to try to help people and do right, even to people that think he's just a wild animal. Mm-hmm. And it ends up at the end of it, you realize he's writing the letter to Logan. Cool. And he seals it and puts it in his belt and wanders away. But he and X-23 and them start a team called the Wolverines where they just try to do that shit. They go covertly, they try to help people out, they try to live on what Logan was trying to do. And then at the end of all of that, X-23 joins X-Men, taking up the mantle of Wolverine, and actually has her own version of the yellow and blue classic suit.
I've seen pictures of that.
But that whole thing was the coolest thing Marvel's done in a long time.
The only thing for me
was on this wacky stuff.
Is I'm just trying to imagine like the legacy of picking up what Logan did, and I'm just like, so you go off and smoke cigars, ride motorcycles into the woods, and pine for Jean Grey. That's what it is.
That's the barest, slimmest thing, man. Like he was
just tormented by the fact that it's like she'll never be as attractive as she was in GoldenEye, and then just like that haunts him forever.
Like he would go to different countries to try to shut down gangs that were like massacring innocent people in the street. Huh. That's why a lot of Logan shit happens like in like Japan and shit like that, because he's trying to stop the fucking gangs that are led by like people that fucking wear Oni masks that have become possessed by these demons. Cool. That are just like brutally murdering people. So he's Logan just like, I'm gonna go stop this shit.
Put that mask on with your bare face.
Logan just loves going around fighting in those countries. Just like, yeah, there's laws against guns, so everyone has like melee weapons, and I'm the best at melee, so fuck it. Like, I don't get shot. It's so convenient.
Yeah.
For some reason, I was thinking of the most Chris fight ever. I was just like, yeah, just Hellboy fighting like Logan would be super fucking cool. And then I realized, man, fucking Hellboy's fist would fucking really hurt. He like punched Wolverine like through a wall, and Wolverine would be like, my ribs are broken. What? And then like the adamantium's like cracked, and it's like, oh god.
I actually don't know how like that would come about. If like he would actually be able to bend the adamantium with a punch.
Man, is Hellboy that strong? Like I know very, very
it's the
strong.
right fist of doom. It's supposed to just be like, it's a super thing, and like it's magic.
Also, like they've got on record, they used like a drill for cutting diamonds on his fist, and they got like quite literally, it was like a .0.00000000001 like gram of what his fist is made out of before the drill exploded from overheating.
So it's on par with adamantium.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
It's probably on par with Captain America's shield, vibranium or some shit.
Yeah.
Only like vibranium.
Only like while Wakanda vibranium is does that thing where it's like it disperses kinetic energy or some shit.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Hellboy's fist is just like it's magic, so it just fucks all rules.
So, where's
It's
the
like Thor's
Avengers in
hammer
this?
too.
Yeah.
Spoopy.
I guess the Avengers are dead with Logan.
Just everyone's dead, Derek. Just everyone's dead.
That's not even the same continuity.
Yeah, technically it's not. Technically, it's the Logan movie continuity is just mutants, because Fox has all the X-Men stuff and Deadpool and the mutants.
Okay.
Marvel and Disney have all the rest of Marvel.
So they're gonna keep a hold of the X-Men for a good long while. People did not like X-Men Apocalypse for some reason.
Yeah,
I think we're in like
Yeah.
a weird minority where it's like
Yeah.
that was cool. People were like that was garbage. It's like really?
I think a lot of movies got hated on unnecessarily this year,
Yeah.
or at least most of them. There was at least Ghostbusters that didn't get enough hate. But you know what?
that didn't get enough hate. Yes, I was like, man, Aaron, don't even say like Ghostbusters wasn't that bad.
Holy shit!
Then
no.
you like hear the mic fucking just fighting in the background. Kate McKinnon, punch. Shouldn't be doing comedy. Punch. Someone should kill her. Punch.
She's good, but people need to call her on her shit.
You know what? That was the best thing about that fucking epic rap battles for me.
What's that?
At least it's not Kate McKinnon, it's Hillary Clinton again.
But she's only doing that on SNL, man.
I know.
She's
I know.
not even a part of that group.
I know, but I've seen those skits. I've seen the SNL skits, and like fucking the fat Baldwin is pretty funny as Trump, but then like the fat Baldwin that was in the SNL skit as Trump.
The only one I know of that's doing it now is Alec Baldwin.
Yeah.
He's just guest starring on there for that.
Yeah, so
And-
I was
But
I was
before
making-
that, I thought it was
making a joke.
what's his face, Daryl Hammond. Maybe I haven't kept up enough.
All I've seen is the two skits that they did
Gotcha.
with Baldwin as Trump and McKinnon as Clinton.
Baldwin, duh. Oh, I just got that. Yeah, but yeah, no, I've seen one of them. I've seen one of those, and I thought it was pretty good.
No, yeah, they were pretty good. It's just like I don't really like Kate McKinnon.
Yeah, no, she's annoying.
Yeah.
Like there are times where she is really annoying, but she's also pretty funny in the right sketches.
See, I've never seen any of the right sketches.
Damn. Yeah, no, her Hillary impression is just annoying because it's her just being super fucking cocky, and that doesn't even make sense for Hillary.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, has she not even seen those bad lip readings? Has she not seen how like hilarious and terrifying that woman can be with her face?
that also, yes. But that
My
also
dad's
reminds
always
me-
like, "There's something off about her."
That reminds me, I remembered I had a very vivid dream right before I woke up this morning, and it was a dream of kind of either seeing or being at a concert, and the people like playing in this band were the Clintons.
Was that the name of the band?
No, but it was Hillary Clinton. She was playing keyboards and singing something, and I just remember thinking to myself, like, this could be the next president of the United States. What?
I guess it just goes to show where your heart really wants. Like, I'm not voting for her, even if I vote for like a fucking duck in a tin hat. Like,
That's pretty much, yeah.
That's a write-in. Duck in a tinfoil hat.
Yeah. I don't want to vote for either of them.
I vote
Same.
for a broken television. Like, just anything, just put anything.
Yeah.
There is a third option still.
Vote for
We are not going to
There
write
is-
you in, Derek.
No, there is actually a third option on the ballot. There's
Barry
a third-party
Johnson,
candidate. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Man, just, you know what? Everyone should just do that. Just vote for the third party and just see what happens.
Everybody should just write in the word "me" and see what happens, and see who ends up getting it.
A small Chinese boy named Me. Spelled M-E.
Doesn't have a last name either. So it's legally perfect.
It's perfect. Me. Me is the next president.
I was thinking about doing Darth Vader because the T-shirts that everybody had.
Oh
You know,
yeah.
That reminds me though. There's some crazy news story that's breaking right now as we speak. It's apparently like in South Korea they found out that their president has been pretty much been given like has been controlled by like a group of billionaires or something like that who've been giving them this president orders for a couple of years now. And there's protests in front of their like
In where? South Korea? Or?
South Korea. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Oh shit.
Yeah, so it's crazy.
It's funny because it's like, for a second I thought you were going to say something like he's been dead. And it's just like, who's been running the country?
It sounds like there's some stuff they don't want you to know.
No, see, and that shit would be awesome because like you find out like this president you've been following for years is actually dead, and it's really just been like an image used to represent him, and then like a committee of people making his decisions.
Isn't that just the Patriots from Metal Gear Solid? They just they rig the election, they have their puppet president, and then they just control the United States.
Yeah.
It's
Clancy Brown as Solid as Snake would be fucking cool.
If you boss. Literally.
Yeah.
Man, that's a game I'm still playing too. Metal Gear Solid 5.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm just some kind of like onlooker of violence. It's just like Solid Snake walks around his base and sees people doing shady shit, and it's just like, that's interesting. But he'll learn details on his iDroid later. He doesn't have time for this shit. He's got like guys to kidnap and make his friends. I'm gonna get a new best friend. This guy's really good at fighting, or so I'm told. As you like sneak up behind him and drag him behind a box and then balloon him away. I heard you're really good at building infrastructures and stuff. What? And it's like, we're gonna be best friends.
Oh, Aaron, you're gonna get like full opportunity to play everything.
What now?
In March of next year, March 28th, for PS4, they're bringing out the first 2 remixes of Kingdom Hearts.
Man, I know that, but I got my hopes up real hard that it was going to be Metal Gear Solid 4, and I was about to flip a table, man. I want to play that game so bad. But
I'm sorry.
But
I want to play Red Dead Redemption on PS4.
Yeah.
The first 2 Kingdom Hearts.
First 2 Kingdom Hearts are going to be great.
It's the first 2 remixes from PS3. So it's going to be 1 final mix, 2 final mix, like all the cutscenes from 385 over 2 days and recoded, and the entirety of Birth by Sleep.
Yeah,
all on a disc for PS4.
It's excellent. I can't wait to play that.
Aaron, here it is now! Just zoom in on your face, it starts playing really loud, the song from the intro cutscene for Kingdom Hearts.
But like simple and clean, but like way too loud, super staticky, like it's going to break the speakers.
Just all of a sudden, just zooms right into your face. You're like...
Oh, that was another thing I wanted to bring up for you. Have you seen the shit about them talking about how they've found in the files a bunch of stuff that's going to be in Street Fighter V before the next season starts?
Weirdly, I've heard that, but I've also heard conflicting shit. Like some source of these rumors, I'm not sure if it's that or another one, is completely bullshit. So I'm not sure how much is true and how much is not.
Okay, I'm taking everything with a grain of salt, but I've seen how people have found an empty slot for a stage.
Yeah.
2 empty character slots. And a slot for like a new mini training thing. That's apparently like Dan's something or another.
I haven't seen that one, but I also wanted to say I just got the gold. I got the...
Oh, dude!
Yeah.
Holy shit!
Ranked. And I fucking did it. I couldn't have done it without the help of a really shitty Mika who played me about 4 times in a row. So,
nice.
So a shout out to that really bad Mika.
It boosted me. Like I just beat him. And I already had somehow had a streak of 8 wins. So by the time I was done, I had gone from 35,000 points to 4,000, and had gotten to like 16 or 17 wins in a row. So it was just like, this is cool.
So are you still like full bore Bison?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have hardly even played. Like I tried to play Urian, and it was fun. Urian's got some great combos, but Bison's just so much easier to play.
Okay, well, leads me to something else. Well, number one, I'm starting to think that the slots for stages and characters might be true, because we still haven't seen the original Bison stage come to the game.
Yeah.
And they've had like in progress screenshots of characters standing on that stage.
Yeah, and also the stage thing looked pretty legit because it was just the empty stage area from like one of the. No, I guess it wasn't, but I swear I've seen that image before in some kind of development stuff where they are making an arena, like a match ring. But I thought maybe I'm confusing this with the Capcom Cup stage, but I don't remember. I'm going to have to go back and read into it.
Aaron, tell what you told me the other day when you faced off somebody.
I know I have to show you that.
What happened?
There was this Ryu I fought the other day who was like, his tag was like New York City's fighting game community's finest or something like that, and I beat him and I beat him in such a way that it was like, man, this is such a good fight. But I decisively won, and then the game loaded up again, and it was the next fight. It was him again. It was just long enough for me to register it was him, and then he disconnected on me. I was like, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, man, that actually reminds me of a meaning to get you about that picture you sent me. Because I just got a picture from Aaron on PlayStation 4, and it's just like, I fought him in Street Fighter. I beat him in Street Fighter also. And I'm like, I guess he meant to send it to Chris, because I was like, I don't play fucking Street Fighter. I don't know who these people are. And then later on, I had a message again. I'm like, oh, it's the one message that Aaron sent. And I clicked on it, and I'm like, oh, there's a picture attached.
Yeah.
I clicked on it, and I was like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah, I don't know what the hell that's about.
Okay, so Derek did you tell Derek?
No.
Oh, okay, well, Derek, you'll get something out of this. Okay, so basically, I'm sitting there, and I see Aaron, and I see that he's fighting the guy who's Ryu, and there's Aaron's little gamer tag at the bottom, but the guys he was fighting was fucking named Lord Dollar, who was an NPC that they beat like years ago in our Saturday game.
Yeah, in Dark Souls. He was one of the bosses.
Like,
so it was like, huh.
And I was just sitting there, and I'm like, what the fuck? Because it's just like, Aaron's like, I beat him in Street Fighter 5 also. And I'm like, what?
That's cool. Like, spelled the same and everything?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the snake with the snake, and you guys had the special daggers. Because Lord Dollar had, like, his family emblem is a snake, and they had, like, he had died and just come back as, like, a giant snake who's so poisonous that if he just stares at you, you fucking turn to, like, stone crust, and then he just crashes through you. So they were, like, down there in this pit because they had, like, this elaborate snake fight with all these trap doors, and they only had, like, these two daggers that were the only weapons that could hurt the thing. They had it in the form of, like, two shorts, like, there were, like, 4 daggers, and you had a couple, and then you found some more.
Yeah.
And they forged it all together into, like, a complete sword that used to be his, because he used to have a sword made of this. Like, Lord Dollar actually had when he was a human. They killed him. They took the sword. The knights that did it, there were 4 of them. They broke it up into pieces and had it forged into daggers.
Did the knights get it out of a hat?
What?
After they beat the snake, did the party like grab onto the tail of a phoenix and get flown back out through Hogwarts and outside?
No, they explored around. They saw like a mimic, I think. It coughed up a shield.
Oh man, we have run into a mimic. Holy shit.
Yeah, I didn't forget mimics. It was like really in the beginning of the game, so I was just like,
so
mimics.
You should implement that ladder mimic concept someone came up with.
Oh god, there was a giant smith because that's who originally broke the thing apart. Then he reforged it back together.
One of my more favorite NPCs actually, because he was like the giant in Anne Orlando. But
yeah, he was like a weird like bog giant, so he's like a weird frogman giant guy.
Yeah,
but it was cool because he has a shitty like hay hut, and you go inside and you realize that like you couldn't knock the walls down if you tried because the walls are all lined with weapons everywhere. Like it's got reinforced on the inside. It's like, oh, the hay's just a covering or insulation. The real structure is the fact that you put swords everywhere. And he was just sitting there like hammering away and forging shit.
Cool.
It'd be interesting if you guys go back. I'd have to think of like cool other reward weapons if you go back to get stuff forged by him.
I couldn't even remember how you get there.
He was like a day's or something travel off of like Caitlin's character's hometown or something like that because he was on the way to Fort Dollar, like to Dollar's Fortress.
Fort Dollar?
Yeah.
Something.
It's one of the Dread Forts.
Nice.
I got a number of Dread Forts, air quotes, that are scattered throughout where it's just like those are old abandoned fortresses. They're really just like places where it's like, come on in and get killed or get all the treasure, one of the two.
Yeah.
You'll fight something spoopy, I'm sure.
Nice. Well, to cap off this whole thing, I wanted to tell you guys about an incident that happened the last week to me at work.
What?
So I start off, and where am I? I start off, and I'm in Virginia.
My house.
And not right now. I mean, last week. I start off, and I'm in Virginia, and this is like the beginning of a 6 days in a row of work. So I start in Virginia. I get a day done in Virginia. I drive 3 hours after that day is done. So work all the way through the day, drive 3 hours, get to another spot in Virginia, go to sleep, wake up, get there, work all the way through the day, drive 3 hours, work all the way through the day, drive 3 hours, and then work all the way through the day and drive 5 hours.
What the fuck?
To Jersey.
Yeah. Somebody was telling me you were in Jersey.
To fucking Jersey.
How was that?
Jersey is the last 3 days of that week. So I drive all the way to Jersey, and luckily the work vans have like the fucking Easy Pass shit in the front, so I can just cruise through that, and the company takes care of that. Whew, okay, fuck you, Jersey. Right. So I get to Jersey, I do one company, and then I check my fucking schedule, and I've got an hour and a half drive after that company's done, and the company gets done a little bit early, so I'm like, fuck yeah, hour and a half drive, and then I'm in the same hotel for the next 2 days to do at the same company a test in Jersey, like further up north in Jersey. So I'm like, fuck yeah, all right. So I go, I'm driving, I leave the fucking factory that I'm testing at, I hit the expressway, I'm driving, and I hear a pop like a gunshot.
Oh shit.
I pull off the side of the expressway because I'm just like, well, pull off the side of the expressway, get out. There is a hole the size of a 50-cent piece in one of my back tires. On either side on these work trucks, there's 2 tires on either side. It was the exterior tire. But still, I didn't want to fucking risk it. I'm sitting there with a hole clear through into that fucking tire. And I'm just like, oh, thanks, Jersey. So I sit there, and I call the office, and we get everything sorted. And they're going to send a tow truck. Tow truck is going to take about an hour to get there.
Fuck.
So I'm sitting in the work truck. Meanwhile, it's getting cold as fuck. Tow truck eventually gets there, pulls off, and the guy gets out and walks up, and he's just like, my tow truck's not big enough for your truck.
Son of a bitch.
Hang on. Let me call another guy. And as he calls, I'm calling the office and letting her know what's going on. And she has me ask him, because I've got a job the next morning for 2 days. And it's just like, and the guy comes back and he's like, I called the other tow truck and it'll be here in about an hour. And it was like, is there any way I can get a tire tonight? And he's like, no, man, it's after 5 o'clock. Our place is closed. We can tow you to it and get you a tire in the morning, probably around 8 or 9 o'clock. And I've got to be at this place the next morning at 4 o'clock in the morning to start. I'm just like, that's not gonna work, man. Yeah. He's like, well, I'm the big truck's on the way. Just tell me what you want me to do. So I call the office back and forth. Big truck finally gets there. Now this is like 2.5 hours after I've left this place I was testing at for a 1.5 hour drive to the hotel. No, 2.5 hours. The big tow truck finally gets there, and he's like, all right. So he sets everything up. He gets me, pulls me off the side of the road. The office calls me back and says she's found a 24-hour roadside assistance guy that can bring me a tire that I need. So I call him, tell him the specs of the tire and shit like that. Apparently, he cannot do work legally on the side of the expressway. On the side of the expressway in Jersey, if you blow a tire, anything happens to your engine, you have to get it towed off the expressway to get it worked on. If anything gets worked on the expressway, cops will show up and fine both the driver and the dude working on it.
What the fuck?
Yep. So I get towed, and I call the guy and said, all right, I'm here. I'm at so-and-so gas station. Can you come bring me the tire? He's like, yeah, I'll be there in about an hour. So I'm just like, well, and just sit down and wait another hour. Finally, the 24-hour guy shows up.
How many hours has it been since this started at that point?
Half hour for first tow truck, hour for second tow truck, another half hour, 45 minutes to get everything set up and get towed off, and then waiting another hour for that fucker. So around about 5 hours, when it was supposed to be an hour and a half
You
drive.
would be well into the 2 towers at this point if you were marathoning Lord of the Rings.
So the guy finally shows up. Luckily, the guy's a cool guy. The dudes towing people, the dudes that towed me were both cool guys. The dude shows up with a tire, is a cool guy. He looks like Kyle Gass with an extra 150 pounds, but I'll be damned if he's not like grabbing the industrial sized jack one-handed and going clunk and sliding it under and then dropping to the ground and like nice. Under the fucking vehicle and getting shit hooked up. I was like, go on, boy, do what you're doing. But so he's telling me all about this shit. About the expressway thing, telling me stories about how he's had to like tell people he can't help him on the expressway, and he's thick as shit New Jersey accent, and he's like, man, Jersey's all about the money. You guys, that's his fucking state, man. All they care about is some fucking money. And he's telling me like all this extra shit they've got taxes on that no other state has taxes on.
Really?
Yeah. So he rings me up after we get the tire set on. He gets the tire put on, granted, in about 20 minutes. And this dude is awesome to watch work because he takes the tire off, he sets it down, fucking pours some water on it, gets a crowbar, pops the rubber off of my rim, puts the new tire on there, fucking hooks it up to the pressure in the back of the truck, pumps the fucking tire up, gets it on there, fucking bam, slam, good to go.
Damn.
So he's ringing me up. Now, granted, I've already used my company card to pay the towing guy. So we're sitting there, and I give him the company card, and he rings it up, and he has to do this phone automated thing to make sure the card goes through. Very into that phone call that takes like 10, 15 minutes, because he's like pushing buttons, automated voice shit. Card won't go through. Tries it again. Card won't go through. So I call the woman at the office, like, the card's not going through, and she's like, let me talk to him. And I can tell from the look on her face that she is like fucking having it out with this motherfucker. And I was like, this dude's being nice to me. Don't fuck this. Don't fucking do this. I'm the one standing here with him in the middle of the goddamn night. And so he runs her personal card, and it doesn't go through.
What the fuck?
So, and I'm off the phone with her at this point. I'm just like, you know what, dude? Fuck it. And I hand him my fucking personal card to pay for a $440 middle of the night tire change. Luckily, I mean, she makes sure she redeposits that money back in my account. The company reimburses me. Everything's fine with that. So, and then, of course, he's showing me the bill, and it's like, yeah, for every new tire you get in Jersey, every single individual tire has an individual tire tax on it. No matter how much the tire is worth, you got to pay an extra $1.50 for every single fucking tire for the New Jersey tire tax. New Jersey only cares about the fucking money, man. And it was like, man, you're right, but I thanked him.
That's awful.
I fucking shook his hand. I got back in the car. I got back in the work truck. He drives away. I'm ready to go. I turn the key and nothing happens. It is so goddamn cold that it's just like, and I'm just like, I can feel the steam just gushing from my body. So I'm finally just like, you gotta do this. And I turn it, and it works.
Shit.
I drive down the road to a fucking Wawa gas station. I pull up, and it's every single gas station I passed in Jersey is full service.
Yeah.
Every single one. And I was just like, man, just everybody wants fucking money in New Jersey. So I pull up. And it was so funny to me. I pull up, and it's like fucking middle of the night. I have to get up at 3 o'clock the next morning. I still have an hour to drive at least to get to this hotel. So I pull up at the station, and I'm getting out to fucking pump gas, and I hear footsteps, like rapid footsteps from the other side of the truck, and I'm just like, what the fuck is this? And I'm on edge, man. I'm just like, what else is it now? Turn around and tackle it, dude. This fucking, this black kid comes around, maybe like 17 or 18, wearing his vest, big smile on his face, and he's like, are you okay, sir? Do you need anything? And I turn to him, and just like in my mind, it's like, this kid fucking knew my night. And I was just like, no, man, I'm good. Thank you anyway. And he's like, okay, let me know if you need anything. And he wanders away, and I'm just like, oh, I just want to get to that hotel. So, fill up with gas, get to the hotel just fine. Rest of it goes okay. After I leave Jersey, 7-hour drive back to Elizabeth City, which is bullshit because the main road from Jersey to North Carolina is that chunk of road that goes from 45 miles an hour to 55 to 45 to 55 to 35 to all the way back.
Jeez.
But that's been my last week travel-wise. P.S. Fuck Jersey.
Yeah. Wow.
It's always got to be something with Jersey, man.
That's the moral of that story.
The individual tire tax.
That was the thing, man. Everything is fucking taxed down there.
Well, people told me at the gas station, they told me wrong.
Mm-hmm. What?
They told me that the gas people will pump your gas for you, and they have to.
No, full service they have to. But if you tell them like, no, I'm good, I got it, they'll when I was leaving, I stopped at a gas station up there. Granted, they've got it set up right because they've got big highways that go all the way back, and there are things called service exits where quite literally you take the exit off the main road, all there is a gas station, you go out the other side back onto the main road.
Not bad.
All it is, and it's a huge gas station with a restaurant attached to it.
Cool.
So it's like a full-service stop.
Yeah.
So I get there the next day when I'm leaving, and I pull up, and a girl comes over, and she's like, hey, I can get that for you. It's like, no, I got it. It's all good. Because, like, man, fucking down here, we pump our own fucking gas. It's not difficult.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, I mean, it's a full service station. I have to set it up. But other than that, you're good to go. So she actually had to, like, wait for me to swipe the payment. She had to take the nozzle out, plug it in, hit the type of gas I wanted. And then she was able to walk away. So it was like... Nobel Prize. But man, it's fucking wacky how just convoluted some shit is other places.
And the fact that that's still in America, that's still within the 50 states, but it still has this much difference.
Yeah, no joke. Like, taxes on everything, every gas station self-service.
Yeah.
Oh, last thing, I promise, last fucking thing. It's a short little anecdote. When I was doing the last job, one of the women that owned that company came out and was talking to me, comparing notes on how many people have been tested, how many people are left. And I'm telling her everything, and she's about to leave to go back to the office, and I tell her, oh, I'll be here if you need to double check anything. And she stops and turns around and goes, are you from the South? And in my mind, I'm just like, oh shit, here it comes. Because everything you see, like nowadays, like, man, people from the South are stupid and dumb and they're racist and I hate them. And so I'm just like, yes, from the South, why do you ask? And she looks at me and goes, because you actually have manners. Wow. And then walks away, and I was like, all right.
For once, it paid off.
Yeah, but, and completely opposite end of that coin, how I described, like in my mind, described New Jersey. Once upon a time, there was a large tumorous growth on the side of New York State. It had some hairs, but it was bad, and it was going to infect that state and turn it into a monster. So someone took a blowtorch to it and melted it down completely, and it melted into a nasty pussy goo that ran down the continent. And they just let it go, and where it fell and dripped and lay, it re-solidified and became the New Jersey we know today. So there you go.
Wow.
But, sorry for taking up so much time on this ass end of the podcast. Most of you are probably already gone by now if you're listening. But if you're not, fucking made it to the end. Good for you. But this has been another Ordinary Men Who Fight Like Heroes podcast with Chris Fearing,
Drunks and Dragons,
Ballistic Robot,
XQ Wolf,
saying thank you for listening. We'll see you next time. And remember, if you're going to Jersey, you better have like fucking $50 cash in your pocket or you ain't getting nowhere.